Welcome to the Social University podcast. We are so glad you're joining us today because we want to help business owners, entrepreneurs, and people just like you who want to build their business online. Listen, if we can do it, you can do it. So let's go.
That's me. Good morning. I'm one more time. I am Karen Taradas with Social U. It is time for What's Up Wednesday, where we come to you live once a week, Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Central, to talk about social media tips, tricks, and trends. And all this month, we're talking about how to kind of get organized and get into it for the new year. Last week, what did we talk about last week? Back to basics. This week, we're going to talk about self-auditing your social media. Next week, we're going to talk about how to create your own content calendar. And I'm going to have a cool download for you guys, free download. And then the last week, we're going to talk about tools to get and stay on track. So let's get into it this week. I'm happy to answer questions or comments. Just feel free to just chime on in. Let's go ahead and jump in, get started. First and foremost, when you're auditing your social media, you need to make yourself a list or a spreadsheet. Of course, I'm digital. I'm going to say spreadsheet on the computer. Paper works. But go through every platform and search on that platform for the name of your business and your name and make a list. Why is that necessary? You would be shocked to find out how many businesses we deal with on the regular who have multiple pages or multiple profiles they don't know anything about. So if you have a list, you can kind of stay on top of that to see. So make yourself a master list so that you can see all your pages and profiles. It will allow you to check your company name on each platform. And in case there's duplicates or spam, you can delete those or report those. Next, number 2, check your URLs and usernames. Ideally, if you're going to be Jenny Sells Houses on Instagram, you also need to be Jenny Sells Houses on the other stuff, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. It all needs to match. So you want consistent branding, and that begins and ends with your username and URL. So check those and see if they can be edited. Check your profile and cover photos. Headshots and covers need to be updated regularly. You want to make sure that you look in real life like you look in your LinkedIn picture so that it's not confusing when people meet you in real life. I think you need to refresh your cover art periodically. I would say quarterly at the very latest. If you are more of a creative, like a florist or a caterer, you need to do it more frequently than that because your entire sales is in your visual. So that cover art needs to change frequently. Number 4, you want to check your branding. That does include your logo. It does include your fonts. If you're not consistent, it's time to get consistent. You can check your fonts on your website and try to kind of match those. Check the fonts in your logo. If you're going to update your logo, let a professional do it. It is not terribly expensive. You can get a logo redo for less than probably $500. You can get a complete, probably you can get a brand new logo from scratch, including a branding guide for like $750. If you just want a logo redo, it's probably going to be close to like $5. And if you want a full-blown branding guide that incorporates all of the branding, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But you can get a brand new brand, including logos with branding guide for like $700. And if you have been struggling with your logo or pulling it off the website, it's totally worth it. Now, if you just need your logo that you have now recreated so that you have a good version to put in graphics, that's going to be not expensive at all, probably like $100. Do it. It is worth the money to get a good, crisp version of your logo. If your logo is black and you have a black graphic, guess what? It's not going to show up. So you need a version of that logo in white or clear, pink version, so that you can put it on different pieces of graphics and people can see it. So invest in yourself, invest in your company. Number 5, complete or edit your profiles. In particular, you want to make sure you're doing this on Facebook and LinkedIn. A lot of our leads come directly from my profile on LinkedIn. So if it's not up to date, it's not doing me any good. Check it periodically and make sure, especially if you volunteer, if you're on a board, make sure that stuff is up to date and current. Make sure your job history is up to date and current. If you've gotten a promotion, tell people. If you have changed your job responsibilities, update your LinkedIn profile. It's super helpful. And on your Facebook profile, please make sure that the link where it says work history on your profile connects to your business page, so it makes you easy to find. Again, you would be shocked to know how many small business owners connect it to something, just some random page called small business owner that goes nowhere. Or real estate agents do it too, where they'll connect to the main broker and not their own personal page. So make sure that that link is correct and functional. Where are we? We are on branding, checking in at your Facebook and LinkedIn profiles. Okay. When you are checking your Facebook and LinkedIn profiles, there is a headline underneath your LinkedIn profile. And a lot of people, this is prime real estate, and a lot of people will waste it with their job title. I don't mean this to come across in a rude way, but nobody cares if you're a president or vice president. If you're a small business owner, they don't care. What they want to know is what's in it for them. So that's where your what's in it for me statement goes. Not managing partner, not CMO. Tell me what you bring to the table. So our sentence is, we understand small businesses struggle with social media. We can save you time and money. Very specific. It tells you what we do. And the reason it's so important, the reason that real estate is so important is because when you Google your name or your company name, your LinkedIn profile comes up and those first two sentences are visible on Google. So searchable. It's searchable on LinkedIn. It's searchable on Google. So you want to optimize it. Nobody looks for managing partner on Google. Yep, they do not. So we want to make sure that all that information is accurate and up to date. Check your contact info for accuracy. Make sure your website's correct, your phone number, your email. Make sure all of your information is correct. Make sure you connect your profile to your page. It's on LinkedIn and on Facebook. Again, people will put this awesome job history and they will link to a non-existent page. If you have a business page on LinkedIn, connect to your business page. And this is also a good time for you to check your privacy settings. And I can't say this loud enough. So if you don't get anything else out of this entire thing, get this: change your password frequently to something that doesn't match anything else. Facebook, especially if you're a business owner, is linked to your credit card. And if you have the same password on there that you do on your Starbucks.com, it's going to be not that hard to break into for a hacker. So much to my team's horror, I change my Facebook password probably once every 30 days. It's at least 16 characters, and it doesn't match anything else I use. My financial institutions, and when I say financial, I mean Venmo, I mean PayPal, I mean my bank, are all different and very long. It has to be. If you've got to write them down, or you have to keep a cheat sheet, or you want to keep a password app in your phone, however you need to keep up with it, but make sure you change it frequently, because I will tell you, there have been many upsetting phone calls and emails from people who have been hacked on Facebook, whose credit cards have been compromised through Facebook, who have had people go in and take over their Facebook page because their password wasn't strong enough. So make sure you're doing that at least quarterly, but now is a good time to do it while you're doing your audits. Okay. Number 6, check the about section on each platform. Make sure your branding's consistent. If you say, we make the best cakes everywhere on Instagram, it can't be cookie maker on Facebook. It needs to match. So that same sentence that fits on your Instagram profile, that's what you need to use on Pinterest, and that's what you need to use on YouTube. It needs to be consistent. Review and optimize if you can. So if your about section's wrong, update it. We've been fighting with Google for 2 years to update our address, and I'm feeling lucky. Like 2023 is my year. It's going to happen for us this year, hopefully. Verify your contact info. Do all of your listed links go where they should. If you still have a Google Plus link on your website, ditch it. Google Plus is dead. Complete your summary on LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn really wants that summary to be completed. It's going to give you prompts to do it. So do it. It's helpful. You want it to be finished. Okay, number 7, you want to check and redo your hashtags quarterly. and hashtags break into 3 categories, and I'm not going to go too deep, but community, where it's based on a specific subject, like the location or what day of the week it is, like What's Up Wednesday or Throwback Thursday. Number 2, branded, your name, your company's name. And number 3, whatever campaign you're running. So if it's a Christmas promo, it would be hashtag Christmas promo. Or if it's like a party that you're throwing or an open house, it might be hashtag open house. But you're going to have 3 separate kind of categories of hashtag, and some of them you'll keep always, and some of them will change out. Obviously, you can't have a Throwback Thursday on a Monday, so that will change out, but your name and your branding will always be the same. Your industry will always be the same, so those need to be consistent. But check them all. Hashtags are grossly misused. People squat on them. So you don't want to, and there's no really polite way to say this. The adult industry is a real thing. It makes real money, and they use real social media accounts. So you need to check all of your hashtags to make sure it doesn't have some sort of adult context to it. We were working with a florist a couple of years ago and found out that one of their hashtags connected to the name of their business was being used on another account. It happens. Sometimes a catchphrase or a tagline that you're using is already being used by another industry. You don't want to use that catchphrase or tagline as a hashtag and promote something else. So it's not always obscene. The reason can just be it's already being used by another company, another industry. So go to Twitter, go to Instagram, and check those hashtags and see if they're being used, how many times they're being used. You don't want to lock down on a branded hashtag that only has 10 uses. It needs to have enough uses that people can find you if they're searching for that hashtag. How many more times can I say hashtag? Apparently a lot. Check your insights and analytics. Hootsuite is a good one to use. But each individual platform is going to have their own statistics and analytics. So you can take a look and see how you're doing. Thank you, Facebook, for making that super hard now that they've introduced Meta. None of those insights are in the same place across the board for every page. It's unique to the page, which is awesome. It's not awesome. But you do want to check them and see what's performing well so that you can repeat that and get rid of your worst performing posts. Number 9, review your content calendar, which, lucky for you, we're going to do that next week, so you don't have to worry about it right now. Check out your competition. See, now I'm not saying copy your competition. I'm saying check them out. I totally get FOMO. I totally get imposter syndrome. So if I spend too long looking at other social media manager accounts, I get into the whole, well, I should be doing that. Why am I not doing that? Oh, look at this thing. That doesn't serve me. It slows me down. So check what they're doing, get inspired, and then get off of their page so that you can do your own thing. Number 11, review who you follow and clean them up. If it doesn't serve you, or if it doesn't serve a purpose for you, ditch it. If there are pages, so many pages that you could probably get rid of, and followers too. If you're connected to folks on Facebook that you don't want to follow or that stress you out or upset you, again, imposter syndrome, ditch it, get rid of it. Number 12, check the social media icons on your website. I think I mentioned that already. Make sure they work. Make sure they're updated and current. I just realized a couple of weeks ago, time around Christmas totally slows down for me, that we didn't have a TikTok icon, and it's our biggest platform. So it happens. And of course, the last thing, you want to post consistently. Nothing looks worse than for people to go to your page and the last post is from 2021. It doesn't look good. It looks like you're MIA. It makes you look either lazy or inconsistent. People will even question a lot of times, if you're a small business, are you in business still? If you can only do 2 posts a week and do them really well, do 2 posts a week and do them really well. You don't have to post every 5 minutes, but make sure there's a presence on the platforms where you engage your clients so they know you're still around. That is it for us this week. Those are all of the great things that you can do to self-audit your social media. If you guys are going to be able to join us again next week, we're going to talk about the content calendar. That's a big deal. Content is the question we get the most. What do I post? What order do I need to post it? How do I know what I'm posting? How do I know where to go look for new content? Because, after you've been posting for a company for 5 minutes, you get burned out. So we'll talk about that. Some resources for content, how to create that rotation for yourself. We're going to go through all of that stuff next week. It should be super helpful for you guys. If you have questions, feel free to DM our page or leave a comment. We will respond. And until next week, I'm Karen Terradas with Social U, and we are here to help. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for the Social University podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media at Stay Social U. That's the letter U. And we will talk to you next week. Remember, you've got this.